Alright, so welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to check out another one of my videos. Today we're going to be diving into another Will I Buy, chatting about new makeup releases inspired by these lovely ladies over here. If you're new here, every single week I like to sit down on Saturdays and chit chat with you guys about the new makeup releases that came out from this past week. Got my coffee all ready to go. It's early in the morning right now, so I still feel like I have morning voice, so sorry for that, but the kids are still sleeping. I've said goodbye to my husband, and you know me, I'm going to take advantage of the time, so let's see if we can go through these new makeup releases before anyone wakes up, and we can see if there's been any interesting makeup releases from this past week. So hit the thumbs up button if you enjoy these types of videos. I'm going to scoot on over and we can go ahead and jump right in. Alright, so first up, let's talk about the newest launch that I just saved last night, but this is from Poppi Cosmetics, and they are launching their first mini palettes ever. This launch will include the Summer Fling and Mood Swing palettes. They're going to retail for $12 each, and one is a pinky yellow theme palette or pinky red yellow theme palette, and the other one is like a yellow, green, blue, orange. It has those colors in it, those tones in it, and yeah, brand new from Poppi Cosmetics. If you don't know, I have reviewed her two previous palettes that she's launched in the past. I did a video on her neon palette, and I did review her pastel one, but I don't think I did a dedicated video on that one. Anyway, so I've had experience from Poppi Cosmetics in the past, and I am very split 50-50. I feel like the Summer Fling, or no, wait, is it Summer? Or, yeah, Summer Fling, this one. This really reminds me of the DD Signature's Juicy Skewer palette. Remember the red and it had the pop of yellow? That one really reminds me of it. I'm not saying that it's like exact dupes or anything, but you definitely get the same vibe as that one, and I'm not into the pinks as much. But you guys know I was a little taken in by the blue-green one. However, having tried her formula before and having tried her pastels, I feel like I'm not going to be super happy with the shades because they don't look like they go deep enough. Like that blue, I feel like it's going to be more of a mid-tone blue. It doesn't really give the depth. And then the yellow, I feel like it might just disappear on my skin tone, so it just kind of limits what I'd be able to do with this palette. So I feel like I am just going to pass on this as much as I'm intrigued. Also too, I think it's interesting here, I feel like that shade all the way on the end looks like an orange, but swatched out is just a gold. That's really tripping me up because if it was more orange, then I think I'd be a little bit more excited about this. Anyway, regardless, I'm split down the middle, so let me know what you think. I've also heard from a lot of people that Poppi Cosmetics doesn't have the best customer service. Like I've heard people say that they've ordered and it's either taken a long time or they had issues with their order and they tried to reach out and they don't get like anything. Like they don't get any messages back, which is a little concerning. Let me know if you've had experience. I'd love it if you could leave a comment down below because I've only ordered from her twice. Like I've purchased both of the palettes that I have reviewed on my channel and I didn't have any issues. I don't remember it taking an exceptionally long time, but I didn't have any issues, so I've never dealt with customer service. But it definitely, when I hear that a brand has bad customer service, it makes me a little hesitant because it's like if I have a problem, I'm just going to probably be screwed, or just it's going to be a painful process. So that's another reason why I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not like totally sold on this, so I don't think I'm going to pick it up. I think the collection is nice. It's a nice launch, but I'm not like swept off my feet. So I'm just kind of like, either way, you know, take it or leave it. I'm not really that invested. Next up, Nabla Cosmetics launched a concealer. This is, what is it called? A Regeneration Uplifting Creamy Concealer. It's now available. Nabla Cosmetics, let's see, rich in active ingredients with clinically tested effectiveness to improve the appearance of dark circles. Available in 12 shades, it gives a blurred, radiant finish. Medium buildable coverage, adheres to skin, lasts all day. Perfect for touch-ups. The Twisty Pen package allows you to use the product with no waste. I'm intrigued. I kind of like the sponge tip. I don't really ever use that for actually like blending it out, but I don't mind it for applying my concealer, honestly. I think a squeezy tube is the least wasteful way to use it because twisting up, if it's like twist too much, because I've had twisty tops with the Maybelline one, the Adri one, and when you go to twist, sometimes it can feel like nothing's coming. So you keep twisting and then all of a sudden it like catches up and just too much comes out, and then you have too much concealer out on the tip and you have nowhere to put it because you can't shove it back inside. So I feel like it's not really, you know, the best when it comes to like trying to be as least wasteful as possible when it comes to a product. I feel like a doe foot or a squeeze tube, pretty safe and a pretty effective way to go no waste. So I don't know so much about that claim, but as a whole, I'm intrigued about this. I like the radiant finish, the blurred finish, the medium buildable coverage. I like all that, but I don't plan to pick it up just because I haven't tried Nabla, but Nabla's that brand that always intrigues me. Every release they do, I'm always like, ooh, that looks really interesting. I kind of want it, but then I never purchase it, so. Playing in Makeup by Yolondo is releasing Browns and Nudes, launching the 22nd very nude neutral palette. easy pass for me, obviously, but I did want to share it if you were curious. If you're someone who's more into neutrals, here you go. This would be the palette for you. Just looking at, I feel like it's very repetitive when it comes to the shadows inside, and I'm someone who, maybe it's because I like more color, but I don't need as much repetitiveness within the shadows. I feel like I'd rather it have more interesting colors to create more interesting looks than for them to just be like so many varying shades of the same color, if that makes sense. And these are all so, at least from the picture, it looks so close to this just a browning neutral look. There's some mauve in there, there's a little bit of orange in there, but I don't know, it's just not enough, you know, a difference for me. So it doesn't excite me. I'm not into neutrals, so it's an easy pass for me, but I did want to share. It's already launched. If you're curious, it's on their website. LORAC Cosmetics is launching something. This is their holiday 2021 collection. They got a couple eyeshadow palettes and I think also some lip products. So let's see, here they all are. This little palette, then there's this one as well. Why are the pictures so dark? Like, how am I supposed to see what the colors actually look like? And then the bigger one. But like, even the bigger one, with it being better lighting, is still such a weird weird coloring to the picture, weird lighting, that I don't trust it even though I see it here. Like, look at that big palette at the top. It looks totally different from here. So it's like, what color, what do you actually look like? Let me see if they've put any better pictures over here. Oh, it's a video. Okay, that's why the screenshots, she took screenshots from the video, so that's why they're not as accurate and as clear. The two palettes I've shown so far, easy pass. This one, I wish I could see more. I feel like I think it has 2 mattes and then 4 shimmers. If it had 3 and 3, I think I'd be more inclined for that one because it looks very deep. Might have a bit of brown or a bit of green in there. It looks pretty, like a grungy type of neutral. The big palette, again, I don't know what it actually looks like, but I think it's going to be just a regular type of neutral palette, so I don't think I'm going to be into it. I wish I could just see them in simple coloring. Just give me a nice simple picture, please, so I can decide if I want it. According to these pictures, it's all going to be an easy pass, even though this is the only one that gave me pause, but I can't see it well enough, so I don't know. I'm probably going to be passing on it all. Makeup Revolution is launching. There was this holiday sets, vault, and advent calendar. So we got lots going on per usual when it comes to Makeup Revolution. There's a 12-day of chocolates up here. All these little sets. I don't know. I'm not into the packaging, so honestly, when I'm sitting here looking at it, I'm not really motivated to look through and see what everything is. Here's the advent calendar. It looks like a nice array. I guess it would depend on how much it is. The advent calendar, 55, 60, I don't know. It's okay. A Merry Christmas set. Not into Friends, so that doesn't do anything for me. 12 days of chocolate. I feel like, I don't know, it's all very pinky, like super, super pinky and everything. And it's like, that's not really, I mean, I guess you could have pink chocolate, but chocolate's like brown. And maybe white chocolate, but anyway. And then also I Heart Revolution. I don't know what this one is. This one looks more like chocolate themed because you have the white. It's still pink chocolate. Is there pink chocolate? Like, I don't think I've ever eaten pink chocolate. Have I? I don't know. The pink chocolate bars are throwing me off in the I Heart Revolution collection. But anyway, I don't know. Nothing draws me in enough to sit there and say like, okay, how much is this? What's included? Is it worth it? Because everything's just like, yeah, I don't need it. So it's a pass. Dominique Cosmetics launched a new palette. This is the Coral Blossom palette. This looks like a palette that would be great to launch in the spring. I feel like it's a little weird launching now. It's just a neutral palette with coral pops and like a blue dark shimmer. Or maybe it's not that dark. I can't even see that shimmer over there. Let me see. Maybe it just got cut off. Let's see. Nope, just a video. Where are the swatches? I'd like to see swatches. Maybe it's here. Anyway, I feel like this is a very spring, maybe summer appropriate type of release, but for the fall, winter, it just doesn't draw me in. You guys know me. It probably wouldn't have drawn me in even in the spring because it is so very light. So here's a close-up look. That purple is probably not going to be a dark purple. It's probably going to be more of like a duochrome, a light wash of color. Okay, it's just them. I thought they would show swatches. Let me go here. So yeah, all the mattes are just so very light. It doesn't attract me at all. That purple, there's the purple. Okay, so it is more of like a pinky purple duochrome type of look. I mean, the mattes, the formula looks nice. I've tried her mattes before. I remember really enjoying it, but the color selection just is not me. So yeah, this is an easy pass. Huda Beauty announced their next palette. This is the Rose Quartz palette. Let's see if there's an up close look. Here's what it looks like. I know a lot of people are excited about this palette, but honestly, when I look at it, nothing about it really intrigues me at all. It's very light tone. Again, a palette that I feel like is suited for spring. And I guess maybe it makes sense to launch these palette in the fall, winter, because you could buy it for a present for someone to then use in the spring. So I guess that makes sense. But anyway, the swatches don't do anything for me. It's very cool tone, kind of mauve-y tone to it with the pinks, with that purple duochrome, almost the same kind of purpley duochrome as what was in the Dominique Cosmetics. I mean, not to say that it doesn't look pretty. I think it looks nice, but these almost look like the same swatches. Are they the same swatches? I don't think so. No, they're different, right? Yeah, no, they're different. Okay. Anyway, just that right there should tell you that I feel like this palette is a little bit repetitive when it comes to the shadows, just because the two swatches, it's almost hard to tell them apart. So yeah, it's too soft toned, way too soft toned for me, and too like cool tone, pinky mauve cool tone for me to be interested. It's just not the right color story for me. So this, when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's cute, but very easy pass. Next up is from HipDot, and they collaborated with Tapatos. I know I'm butchering this. Tapatio. I think it's Tapatio. Let me know. I know I should know how to pronounce that because I feel like I've heard it a million times, but I've never actually sat down to try to pronounce it. I don't use it, so anyway, moving on. But they collaborated with them on a whole collection. It's got lip products, it's got palette, it's got, what are these things? Glitters, it's got a sponge, really cute. Per usual, when HipDot comes out with a collab, they go all the way. They do a great job. Looking at the actual palette though, it looks like it has glitters. I love the mattes in here, but I think those are glitters. I'm honestly not sure though. I shouldn't say that they're glitters. They could just be really chunky type of shimmers. Regardless, I'm not into the collection. I'm not into the theme of it. I don't, I'm not invested in the theme of it, so it doesn't draw me in that respect. And then the color story, it's a really pretty. I like how colorful it is, but I don't know. I'm not drawn to it. So for all those reasons, I'm not going to be picking it up. I will say though that the lip products with those little bottles, the best part of the collection. That tempts me the most. And like I said, I don't even use this in cooking. Like I don't think I've ever actually, have I ever tasted it? I don't think so. I don't know. I've just never have, but that is really cute. I love the tiny little bottles. That is adorable. Okay, so BH Cosmetics launched their holiday palettes, and they launched a ton of palettes. Like, oh my goodness, they have brushes up here as well as lip products, but obviously my eyes always go to the palettes. They have this big one over here, which I believe Alejandra Lizette already purchased and picked it up. She did one of the palettes. I can't remember. I know, they're both big, so I didn't pay close enough attention, but I think it's the bigger one because I remember the greens in her palette that she was showing. Anyway, her video is going up. I think it went up yesterday, so check it out if you want to hear what she thinks. She got last year's palette that BH did for the holidays, and then she picked this one up, so she's going to kind of give her thoughts in comparison to last year's and this year's formula, all that. I always highly recommend her review. She goes very in depth on the formula and how they work, so check her video out if you want to know more about it. I'm not going to be picking them up just because it is a large palette. I'm not super interested into the color story, so it was just an easy pass. And then this other one over here, it's another easy pass. There was also, what is this? A blush palette, I guess? I don't even know. It's purple. So that seems like an interesting choice. Whatever it is, it's a pass. Looks like they have contour, highlight, blushes. Maybe those are mini palettes. Maybe that's what they are, those two. They're minis. Anyway, regardless, it's all a very easy pass for me. I'm not really into anything except for the brushes. I feel like the brushes look like they got some cute ones in it, but I don't need brushes. I'm passing. Yes, you're passing, Katie. So Glam launched a palette for Halloween, and look at this palette. It's called Wretched Romance, and it's shaped like a spider web. That is cool. And there's one shadow that I don't even know what it would look like, Hocus Pocus, but it's white with like, looks like blood splatter through it. It's neat. I will give them that. It's a really cool setup for a palette. I was very much captivated when I saw it scrolling. I was like, that is neat. That is different. I kind of like it. But looking at the actual colors, let me see if they swatched any of these. Nope. Oh wait, maybe there's more. Hang on. I didn't go far enough. Come on, give it a chance. No. Okay, anyway, it's really a neat color story. I feel like the squares in the middle are really tiny, but maybe that's just a perception. There doesn't appear to be a ton of mattes. I wonder if there's any pressed glitters. I don't know. I like the design of this palette. I think it's very neat, very, theme appropriate, but the color story doesn't grab me enough to be like, okay, maybe I'll pick it up. So it's going to be an easy pass for me, but I did want to mention it just because I thought it was a really, really neat idea for a palette, and they did it really well, I thought. If anything, I feel like the cover's a little bit, maybe not. I thought it was a little bit anticlimactic for the inside, but it is a spider web. What more do you want? But anyway, I just like the inside. I thought that was cool. Okay, so a little bit of an announcement. EUnique Cosmetics is going to be changing their name. They're doing a rebrand, and I don't know when this is going to be happening, but they did post a couple days ago saying that this is going to happen in the very near future, just to give the customers a heads up, which I appreciate, because name brands are a big deal when it comes to a company, because everyone knows you by one name, and it's like, wait, now you're not going to be that. So I appreciate that they give a big heads up. I don't really love when brands change names. I remember even Menagerie Cosmetics, I did not like when they changed from, what was it, Makeup Monsters? And maybe it's just because I don't like change. That could totally be it, because I'm not someone who loves change. But I always kind of like, oh, you're going to change your name now, I have to remember something else. But we'll see. We'll see what the name is going forward. But I just figured I would share, just so you guys know, to keep a lookout, that EUnique Cosmetics will be changing their name at some point in the future. EUnique Beauty is launching their festive collection for the holidays. This is available for pre-order. It looks like they have 3 different type of palettes, some lip products here, a really pretty looking highlighter. Those 2 highlighters with the rose impressions. That's really pretty. But then let's look up close at the actual palettes. Alright, camera battery died, so sorry about that, but getting back to it, they always put some really unique color stories together. Let me click over and see. I think, yep, they've done swatches of it. This is the Warm Autumn from their festival collection. I think that's really pretty. There are 3 mattes, 3 shimmers. These shimmers look so very special, especially like, look at S'mores. That looks so pretty. It looks a little bit repetitive from shade to shade, like Campfire and S'mores just look like there's a depth difference, but the color is kind of the same. So it's that. I wish it was a little bit different. And Maple, I don't know, just doesn't look like a shadow that would excite me. But S'mores. S'mores looks very pretty. And then where's the other ones? This one, oh, look at Dulahan? Okay, I'm so sorry. I should probably stop trying to pronounce them, but that shade right there, look at that. That is beautiful. Let's see. 3 and 3 again. Mattes and shimmers. I like that. And I like that all the shimmers look very different. They look very pigmented too. Like just looking and comparing these swatches to the swatches we just looked at from the autumn one, these shades look very saturated and I love that. The mattes don't look as exciting for me. Like I wish with so much depth that I see in the shimmers, there was at least one shadow that had a lot of depth for the mattes just to complement it and be able to create some really, you know, sultry, very deep and smoked out looks. And oh, can you imagine that all over the lid, that middle shimmer all over the lid with like a really deep smoked out purple cool tone look? That would be pretty. And then where's the last one? Here it is, I believe. Yeah, let's see. This one looks really pretty too. Is it all shimmers? It looks like it's all shimmers, right? Is that one all shimmers? That doesn't, wait, no, I don't think that's it. Okay, so they haven't swatched this one yet. This one looks really pretty too. This one was one I was most interested in seeing swatched out because it looks very unique and it looks like it has 4 mattes and 2 shimmers. And I'm curious to see that white, I think it's called North Pole, swatched out, so I'll have to check back and see, but I'm very 50-50 on this brand. I'm very intrigued every time I see this brand share something. I'm very intrigued about it. I get, you know, excited for the color story. They put some nice color stories together, but I haven't tried them yet. And I don't know. I feel like that one shadow in that, with this one right here, however you pronounce it, that shade looks super pretty. But I don't know if I'll pick it up. I don't think they're terribly expensive if I remember. I think they're pretty good price. It's available the 27th. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? And then also, like I said, there's highlighters and lip products. If I were to pick up one of these eyeshadow palettes, I would probably also pick up one of the highlighters just because they look so intensely like sheeny. Like I feel like it would give you a really blinding highlight and then the purple would be a really neat type of highlight that I don't really think I have. So I'd probably throw one of those in, probably like I said, the purple one just to get something different, but it's really pretty with a little impression of the flower on it. Anyway, let me know what you think about this. I'm very 50-50, kind of torn, kind of intrigued, so let me know. Sigma launched their holiday collection. This is, I don't know if it has a name for this collection, but this first palette's a 6-pan, and then do they have another one? I think it's just a 6-pan palette, and then they have the blush and highlighter duo. It's very pretty. I definitely think that Sigma does a great job when it comes to their color stories of like catering to their customer, kind of like LORAC does. I feel like they stick to a very solid theme when it comes to their eyeshadows because they're all kind of like brownie mauvey neutrals. Though with that said, Sigma has done more grunge. I really wish I kind of hopped on the grungy palette that Sigma did because while it was very neutral, it did have the grunge aspect that I like, and I think I would have enjoyed that palette and I would have been able to try one of Sigma's newer palettes because I haven't tried their formula in a very long time, but I didn't, so I keep on waiting to see what else they come out to see if I want to pick it up, and this is going to be another pass for me. I do appreciate that it's 3 mattes, 3 shimmers. You guys know I like to have at least equal, if not more mattes, and I like that there is differentiation between the mattes, like they're different colors. The shimmers, especially these two, look a little close, but honestly, it could just be, oh, here's swatches. Yeah, they do look pretty close. I don't love to see that. Anyway, doesn't really matter though because I've already said I'm going to be passing, but I did want to share with you that they do have a new holiday collection. Okay, Colourpop launched a new palette. Of course they did. This is the Lucky Penny palette, and it's like a neutral corally palette, which I feel like they've already, well, they didn't have a coral palette. I think they call it their orange palette, but I said that it looked more coral. Now they have a more coral toned, kind of warm tone type of palette. I don't know. I saw Lucky Penny and I was like, I mean, I guess that looks like a penny. I don't know. Whatever the reason, I am not into this palette at all. I saw pictures of it and I was like, oh, that doesn't look interesting. And then seeing the swatches, definitely not interested. There's so many mattes in here that are so very light. Like, look at these 3. I feel like the one it would just be like a brow bone highlight. But these 2 on the side, what is it called? Hit It Big and Like New. They would look identical, I feel like, on my skin. And then the shimmers too, also they just look very close. Let me go back to the swatches. Okay, yeah, the shimmers just all look so close. And while I like monochromatic palettes, but within the monochromatic palette, I like there to be differences. I don't like to see so many repetitive shades because then it's like, well, why didn't you just make it a quad and call it a day? When they're so very repetitive, when you go to create looks, I just feel like they all end up looking the same. So while I like monochromatic palettes, I like them to be different. They're all just so very close. I feel like every look is going to look the same. But anyway, I'm going on and on. too long about this. All that to say, I wasn't into the color story at all. It's all around a super easy pass for me. JD Glow launched some new gel liners and metallic shadows. Now, I have tried their gel liners in the past and didn't have a great experience with it, but I will say this is going on like 2-3 years ago. I'll leave my video up here so you guys can know exactly how long it's been, because it's been several years. So maybe they've improved their formula. However, I'm just not curious to try them. So the liners are an easy pass for me, but the shimmers is where I'm like, oh yes. You look very pretty. I love the orange. Even that purple, oh, like that shade looks so very pretty. That gold, it's pretty, but I probably wouldn't pick it up. The green, you guys know the green I like. I feel like I own a shade from JD Glow that's like this. I wonder if these are repeat and they're just bundling them together. I don't know. I thought they were new. The shadows are sold in bundle. Oh, the shadows are bundled with the liner, so you can't get them separate. They're $16 for both of them. Okay, so while I like them, I'm not interested enough in them to buy the liners just because I just don't ever use my other liners. Though I will say that these liners look like they're metallic, so maybe I'd have more success with them because they are that metallic type of finish. Let me see. Is this one of them? Oh, this is a multi-chrome now. But I don't know. Like I said, not interested enough to give them a try. So it's going to be an easy pass for me, but I do really like the orange and the green and even the purple. I feel like that would be really, really pretty. Rare Beauty launched a new palette. This is the Discovery, and I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's the first palette that they launched. That's how like not into the color story I am when it comes to Rare Beauty. I know that it is different from the first one because I think the first one was more just neutral, but I felt like it did have the pink and purple in it. Anyway, this is a new palette. It is a little bit different, but it's just not anything I'm interested in. So when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, it's an easy pass, no thanks. But yeah, it's a new palette from Rare Beauty. Maybe she'll do maybe in like the spring, summer, she'll do something a little bit more colorful. I'd love to see a more colorful palette. I mean, I will give it to her that I appreciate that this is a very uniquely done palette with the circle and the semicircles on the side. I think that's very neat and different when it comes to palette presentation and how to package your palettes. I appreciate that Rare Beauty is very different with all their products. I feel like all their products are very uniquely shaped and whatnot. So it gives it a very noticeable aesthetic when you see it. It's like, oh yeah, that's Rare Beauty. I appreciate that about it. Maybe that's why I'm so intrigued to try it, but this color story just doesn't do it for me. It's available the 20th. I think it's going to be $29. Yeah, it's going to be an easy pass for me. DJ's EUnique Boutique launched new shimmers, and oh my goodness, look at these. They look stunning. How much? I can't remember. I'll go look in a minute. But look at these. So much sparkle, so much gorgeousness, and if I remember right, they're also nicely pigmented because she went and swatched them all. Let me look. Here it is. Maybe these are all 6 of our new holiday singles. Here we go. We got Silver Bells, Noel, Holly, Snow Globe, 24 Karat, and Rudolph. Okay, there they are, all swatched. They look really nice. A very, very holiday-esque, very holiday themed. I feel like the bottom and that middle one here look very similar, or maybe it's just the top one, the one towards the top is more of just like a sheer wash of color, full sparkle. The green and the gold and the red is what's calling to me for sure. They look very pretty. I've tried her shimmers in the past and was super impressed with them. I tried to mix them. Some were more like a sheer sparkle, kind of like a topper, very sheer in color, but there were a couple as well that she's launched that are very pigmented and very intensely pigmented. I used 2 of them in my video where I was talking about my miscarriage a couple months ago, so I'll leave a video up here. I don't mean for you to watch it to like watch a sad story, but if you want to see me use them on camera, I use them on my eyes, and I was blown away by how beautiful and how shimmery and how sparkly her shadows were. So very intrigued. Also that silver at the end, that silver looks very intense. What is that? I think Silver Bells. So pretty. Oh, I forgot, Colourpop also launched something just straight to Ulta. This is their Charmed I'm Sure collection. There's 4 palettes. 4 palettes. So many palettes. Like, why? And they really don't look that different from what they've done in the past. So I'm not even interested in getting up close and figuring out which palette is which because I'm just like, okay, pass. They got let's see, probably like lip glosses or lip oils if I had to guess. And then they have little gems and stuff like that. All an easy pass for me. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is just a very out of nowhere release going straight to Ulta. I mean, pretty packaging per usual. The covers look really pretty, but the color stories are just, I don't know, what we've seen from Colourpop so many times before. Wet n Wild had launched a new Little Twin Star theme collection. I don't know what Little Twin Star is, so I'm sorry about that, but I just was attracted to the very colorful collection. Look at that palette, that looks cute. Very light. Again, another palette that I feel like is more like spring focused or just spring appropriate. I like the cup. That cup is cute. That'd be cute to hold brushes in. Can I zoom? That is cute. Yeah, really cutesy type of packaging. I feel like, oh, here's a better picture of the palette. I didn't even see. Okay, that's a little bit more colorful than I was expecting. That's pretty. I'm not going to pick it up just because I'm not really into the palette style, the palette packaging and whatnot. I don't know what Little Twin Star is, but I will say the color story is cute. It's still got very heavy on the very soft neutral side, but it's got some color in there too. There'd be some really pretty looks you could get with that palette. But yeah, new from Wet n Wild. I feel like it's been a long time since Wet n Wild has caught my eye, so I wanted to share with you guys because this palette definitely caught my eye. Okay, so last up we're going to end with this. Lisa Eldridge is launching their new Seamless Skin Foundation. She's going to have 40 shades. The foundation is described as intelligently formulated, skin-friendly foundation with a customizable medium coverage that can be dialed up or down. I love that. Like, that sounds really, I mean, again, it's a promo for a foundation. They're going to make it sound the best it can, but that is really like speaking my language. Self-setting, it blends effortlessly to smooth and unify skin with a noticeable soft focus effect. The formula contains a natural mesh-like ingredient which completely fuses with skin after blending. The final finish is neither dewy or flat matte, but something skin-like that's in between. That's the type of foundation I like. I'm not into the super matte anymore just because I feel like it looks very cakey and heavy, but I'm not really into the dewy because I just look like a greasy, oily mess when it kind of, at the end of the day, when it blends with my own oils, it just doesn't look good. So a very kind of in the middle, skin-like, that's speaking my language. Now, I've never tried Lisa Eldridge. I know she's expensive, so I'm just like, I shouldn't be looking at this because it's going to be way too expensive, but I'm kind of intrigued. I don't know how much. That's what's going to make or break it for me. Depends on how much it is. I don't think it's launched yet. Did they have a date? No, not yet. So we'll see. We'll have to wait and see when it actually launches, how much it will be, because that will determine if I can get it or not. Is it sold at Sephora? I can't remember. If it's sold at Sephora, I might pick it up. But I mean, maybe I won't. I don't know. I'm just very intrigued with it being so skin-like and being very light coverage. You can go very light, or if you want to go more full coverage, it's easy to kind of just add more without it being cakey, it sounds like. And I just am very attracted to the natural finish. Do I need to get a high-end foundation right now? No, because I've been really digging my more drugstore, like tinted moisturizers and whatnot. I have a tinted moisturizer on today from Maybelline. It works well, but not gonna lie, the wording on that promo is kind of convincing me. So we'll see. We'll see how much it is. If it's gonna be crazy expensive, that'll probably do it for me. I'll be like, okay, Katie, come on, come to your senses. You don't need that, but I'm intrigued. That is for sure. Alright, so that is going to do it for my weekly Will I Buy talking about new makeup releases. And per usual, if you're new around here, I like to stick any late breaking news over here on the side just in case I miss something that, you know, comes out after I'm done filming or the day when I'm editing this. It kind of just always irked me that I couldn't include it in my video, so now I have a late breaking section so I can let you guys know and I can include it in here. Even though I'm not talking about it verbally, you guys can at least hear my little snippets of thoughts, and if it's something big or something I'm super excited about, I can talk about it in next week's video. Or if you want to hear me talk about it in next week's video, definitely go down into the comments and say, hey, I saw such and such in your late breaking news, please talk about it next week, and I will definitely save it and do that, because not gonna lie, sometimes I forget when I put them in the late breaking news, I forget to like save it into my folder, so then I forget to talk about it. So feel free to always remind me down below, say, hey, make sure you save this and talk about it next week if you want to hear anything more about it. But yeah, that is going to do it for today. A lot of more exciting launches this week than it's been the last couple weeks, which I'm kind of excited for, because the last 2 or 3 videos I feel like it was very, you know, the releases were all like nothing really caught my eye, or like 1 or 2 things caught my eye, but it just didn't excite me that much or something like that. But this week there were several products that launched and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. Okay, that's kind of neat. I think I still said no to everything, which is just good for my wallet in general. But still, there were some interesting palettes that we talked about. Some very boring palettes, of course, like Colourpop's palettes and LORAC's palettes. There were definitely some boring palettes in there. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. As always, I love to hear what you guys think of these weekly releases and which products from this week caught your eye. Is there anything that you're picking up? Is there anything that you're into? Because as I always say, like, just because I think it's really pretty and I like it doesn't mean I necessarily have to buy it. So while there were products this week that I thought were really cute, or just really like, I love the theme of it, I love the packaging and whatnot, I don't think I said yes to picking up anything. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. As always, I love to hear from you guys. Per usual, I'm over on Instagram at LadyKatie92 over there. If you like watching real tutorials, if you like watching real tutorials, sound like real tutorial, like actual real life tutorials, but I mean like real, like the Instagram reels, TikTok, real tutorials. And then I also share up close eye pictures and then also flat lays and whatnot. So LadyKatie92 if you want to check me out over there. But yeah, with all that said, that is going to do it for me. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.